Tonight, the FBI is releasing new information on the unsolved death of federal prosecutor Jonathan Luna. Luna was last seen alive a year ago tonight and found dead in a ditch just hours later. Joining us in Philadelphia is Brett Lovelace, reporter for the Lancaster Intelligencer Journal, and in New York is forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Baden. Brett, are they any closer to solving this case? Why Jonathan Luna was found dead?
Unfortunately, no, Greta. Yesterday, the FBI released a statement indicating that they have determined that Luna did not meet with anyone from his trip from Baltimore before being found in Lancaster. However, there's a 2-hour time frame which he is unaccounted for, so the FBI is not sure what happened in those 2 hours. But in the other 4 hours, the 6-hour trip from Baltimore to Lancaster County, in those 4 hours they can't account for, they know he did not have contact with anyone.
Is it, Brett, the story that the FBI wants to close the case and they're leaning towards suicide, and the local investigators say absolutely not, this is a homicide?
Yes, Greta, that's a big issue of contention right now. My sources told me that as early as 2 weeks ago, the FBI had a meeting with the Lancaster County coroner and the forensic pathologist who performed the autopsy. At that meeting, it was requested that the manner of death on the death certificate be changed from homicide to suicide. The coroner office in Lancaster County said, no, we're not going to do that unless we have adequate evidence to support it, and they were willing to do a coroner's inquest where sworn testimony, review of case files, interviews would be conducted to come up with a final conclusion. That's the only way they would consider changing the manner of death.
All right, Dr. Baden, I know that the autopsy hasn't been released, but what do you know about this, and which way does it point in your mind?
Well, I think there are two streams. One is the investigative stream by the FBI and police, and the medical evidence that seemed to point more to suicide. The longer the investigation goes on without any evidence that somebody was with Luna at the time he died, the more that points to suicide, as the FBI has indicated in that report. But also the fact that there are two types of injuries involved here. Remember, he had multiple superficial stab wounds, and he was alive, went into the nearby stream and drowned. That's more typical of suicide than of homicide. Usually in homicide, there's a single set of injuries, bullet wounds or stab wounds, not two things like here.
And of course, we have that 2-hour mystery that Brett just suggested, so nobody knows for sure tonight. We hope the investigation's ultimately solved. Dr. Baden, Brett, thank you both. Now to a story of amazing heroism. The U.S. Marines India Company led the charge in the Battle of Fallujah. They were the first to head into the dangerous terrorist-infested city. Fox's own Greg Palcott followed them on their amazing mission. Here is some of what he saw.